Hello there everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel Joe's Bus Trampoline Lift Adventures, and this is going to be a journey on the M5 motorway from junction 4 at the Lydiate interchange all the way down to the terminus, which is of course junction 31 at Exeter. And I hope you enjoy the journey. So here we go, we're just about to head on to the M5 motorway. So junction 4, which is the Lydiate interchange, is for Birmingham Southwest, the A38, and of course Stourbridge on the A491. And this is also for Bromsgrove. So here we go, we're just waiting at the traffic lights at the interchange, and of course the National Express West Midlands bus service number 20 serves the interchange, well, goes along through the interchange, connecting Bromsgrove and the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. It used to be known as the 144A, going from Bromsgrove to Longbridge, and way before that it was the historic first bus service 144 from Worcester all the way to Birmingham, lasting until 2022. And so the 144 only now operates between Cats Hill and Worcester. So anyway, here we go. We're now on the M5 southbound. Now, if you remembered, we did this with the Dorset trip last year. Unfortunately, we couldn't do the Dorset trip in the flesh this year due to obvious reasons. But hopefully, fingers crossed, next year we might be doing it. We might go down to Dorset again. So here we go. We're going down the M5 motorway. So here we are. We're on the M5. So this is going to be direct down towards the terminus at Exeter, which is junction 31. Now, throughout most of this video, as you probably know, it is a longer journey, so what I'm doing, I'm using screenshots of the different junctions, and this also includes pictures, and of course, this also includes the Google Maps footage. So here we go, we're just now on our way towards where we meet up with the M42, which is for the North East, the National Exhibition Centre, and of course Birmingham Airport. So here we are, this is junction 4A, and we're going to continue further all the way down the M5, all the way down towards parts of Worcestershire, and then heading into Gloucestershire, and then into the West Country. Okay, here we go. So junction 4A is right here. To the left is the M42, and that is followed in our Dorset trip, but we're heading in the direction of the southwest. So we're heading in the direction to the southwest, all the way down towards the terminus. So here we go, and we're going to cross the 52 corridor, which is operated by Diamond Bus, connecting Kidderminster and Redditch, which used to be known as the 42 from the Kidderminster General Hospital to Redditch, and interworking with the 43 route from Redditch to the Princess of Wales Hospital and around the Sidemore Estate. The 43 was changed to the 52A back in 2021, the same time when the 42 was renumbered to the 52. And the 52A was extended beyond Redditch Town Centre, down to the Oakenshaw Tesco supermarket, and then on to the Alexandra Hospital. And that replaced the 55 and the 55C routes. However, the 55C did not serve the Tesco supermarket, and that was a Sunday service. And the 52A was short-lived with the Princess of Wales Hospital, because 2022, the Princess of Wales Hospital lost the bus link. And that was also down to the reviews of the services within the Worcestershire area, as certain routes were being cut off due to the routes no longer being sustainable and commercially viable. But however, the 52 route and the 52A have survived the axe even the service number 8 in the Kidderminster area, which goes from Rifle Range to Hales Park. So there had been a handful of routes that have been cut back over the last few years, but however some of them had been saved, which is good. And also there was going to be talk of axing the 247 at the time, which is the Redditch to Evesham bus. But however, that turned out not to be the case. As you know now, they've added school journeys onto the 247, so that makes it even better. So anyway, here we go. We're going down the M5 motorway, so you'll see the Droitwich transmitting station in a moment, which is the iconic transmitters. And as you can see, there they are in front of me. So the transmitting station, which I refer to as the BBC station, because as you know, you could, as it said on the real-time information on the 144 and 145 journeys, that's the BBC transmitting station. I believe you could see it from miles across the surrounding areas close to Droitwich, and it's also close to the Webs of Wychbold Garden Centre, which is one of the biggest garden centres I've been in within Droitwich area. And that also has a hobbycraft tenant, and also it has a Cotswold outdoor store as well. So it has a Cotswold outdoor store, and it even has a Lightland as well. So there is quite a few concessions tenants on the site of Webs of Wychbold Garden Centre. So here we go. We're going down the M5. I might also recreate another version heading down towards Torquay in the near future, but possibly, more than likely, starting at Columpton maybe. But however, that will be another time. So here we go. We're going down the M5. So the M5 is going to be heading along. So we'll be coming up to junction number 5, which is for Bromsgrove, Droitwich. The A38, the Chateau of Impney, which is as you come into Droitwich on the 144 and the 145 routes, and also the Webs of Wychbold Garden Centre, and of course the Aztec Adventure. So there are loads of points of interests coming up on this line. So you've got the Chateau of Impney, and of course you've got the Webs of Wychbold Garden Centre, and of course you have the one and only Aztec Adventure. So here we go. We're coming up to junction number 5. So this is junction number 5, which is for Webs of Wychbold Garden Centre, Bromsgrove, the A38, Droitwich, the Chateau of Impney, and of course the Aztec Adventure. And so here we go. We're now coming up to junction number 5, and of course there is a McDonald's at this junction, along with a Harvester restaurant, and of course the Holiday Inn Express Hotel. So there is quite a few popular interests around this part of the motorway. So there's the transmitting station there at Droitwich. So that's the Droitwich transmitting station, and you can even see it, as you know, it's so close to the Webs of Wychbold Garden Centre. And so here we go. We're now coming towards the junction. So we're now coming towards the junction of the M5 motorway. So this is junction number 5, and of course, so here we are. This is junction number 5. Eventually, I might think of doing a random version of this, going all the way down towards
right
Devon Way.
So we've just gone through Junction 5, the A38. So this video is just going to go as far as Worcester for this segment.
But however, that is another time.
The video at Strensham Services.
That is junction number 5.
The first services we'll
now,
see
believe it or not, the Chateau of Impney Hotel is now closed.
Service station
as I just wanted to update you all on the information in regards to the Chateau of Impney, which is close to Droitwich, and yes, it is closed, and it was a very iconic location, but however it's now closed. So we're now continuing on our journey all the way down to we're now heading all the way down towards
so anyway, here we go.
The southwest. So the next junction coming up is junction number 7. Junction number 6, which is for Worcester North, the A449, the A458, Evesham, and of course Kidderminster. And the A449 goes all the way up to Stafford in Staffordshire via Wolverhampton, and it goes along the Diamond Bus 303 service, which connects Worcester and Kidderminster. So here we go. We're going along the motorway now, all the way up to, all the way along towards Worcester, and of course the Six-Way Stadium as well. So you've got the Six-Way Stadium coming up. So I might think of doing a version of this, maybe a randomness, maybe to somewhere in Somerset eventually. So here we go. We're now on our way towards.
Anyway,
so we're now on our way towards Worcester.
So we're
now on our way towards Worcester now, and of course the Six-Way Stadium in Worcester
might have heard,
held at one time a bus show in 2021, but however it didn't really take off that much. Didn't really took off that much.
I don't own the rights to.
But however, it was a nice day out to go to the bus event, because as you know, we're all entitled to our own opinions on certain bus shows, but obviously we like to try different bus shows out all the time, and
copyright reasons.
So here we go. We're now heading along.
Here we go, we're going up the motorway now.
So we're now heading along
once we
towards
get to the next junction, which will be junction number 6.
So
Worcester,
we're heading along now up towards
and resume at Strensham Services. And
so we're just now heading towards junction number 6, which is coming up right now, and then we'll have a screenshot of the next upcoming of the junction after that. And then we will resume after junction number 7. So junction number 7 is going to be as a screenshot view from Google Maps.
Worcester.
And so you've got junction number 7, and then you've got,
also gives connections
and then we will resume just after junction 7.
And also Kidderminster.
So I hope you enjoy my YouTube channel, Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures. Recently, we've just uploaded a video of the Stourbridge to Kinver corridor, past, present and future. And so I hope you enjoy watching that video. And it's a very, very exciting video. I filmed that back in 20 at 19, and I did 2020 through 2021.
The next junction.
Obviously with 2021 the Select version,
then we will be
obviously same version when Select gave the route to Green Bus,
hope you're enjoying the journey all the way down.
Then they rerouted the route. Well, the council rerouted the 242 prior to back to what the 228 used to do. So we're now on our way all the way. So we're now approaching the Worcester area. And I do like Worcester, to be honest. It's one of my favourite destinations. And I was recently down in Worcester when I was doing the service number 44 down to Malvern, because I went down to Malvern 2 Saturdays ago. It was a lovely trip down to Malvern, and also all that walking from like the top of the Malvern Hills all the way down towards the Malvern Retail Park, and I do like exploring very exciting locations, even though they can be nerve-wracking if you haven't been there for a while or going there for the first time. It is nerve-wracking, but obviously I'm always up for the challenge when I go to places. I think it's going to be a very nice, a good idea of a very good day out, and it is true, to be honest, because when you see these places you think, wow, definitely want to do this again, but you may think, oh, never doing this again with all that walking, but obviously it's just a phrase. So we went to Malvern Hills. So I went to Malvern Hills, and as you can see in the background, you can see the Malvern Hills where I was a few Saturdays back, and that was a great trip. That was a great trip to Malvern Hills back in, a few Saturdays back at Malvern. It's a very nice place. So here we go. We're now on our way to so we're now on our way. So here we are. This is junction number. So this is junction number 6. Worcester North, Kidderminster, A449, Evesham, and the A4538, and of course the Six-Way Stadium. So the Six-Way Stadium is at this junction. So this is junction number 6. This is junction 7, and this is for Worcester South, Evesham, the A44, County Hall, and of course the Worcestershire Royal Hospital. This junction is also for Pershore on the B4084, Worcestershire Parkway Rail Station, and also the directions to the Three Counties Showground, and of course the Malvern Hills, and also for the iconic Worcester Cathedral. Also, back at junction number 6, you've also got the signs for the Warndon villages and, of course, the business parks. Right then, we're now coming towards Stransham services. On the right-hand side is the northbound services and was the base for the West Midlands Air Ambulance. And we stopped at the northbound Stransham services last year when we came back from Dorset. Coming up on the left hand side is the southbound side, and the original service station opened with the M5 and the M50 motorways in 1962, though none of the original buildings survive in use, and it was built by Monk. And the M5, which was built with two-lane carriageways, was extended southwards from junction 8 in 1969. So anyway, this is Stransham services, and it's operated by Road Chef. The previous operators was called Kenning and of course Take a Break. And so anyway, here we go. So we've just gone past Stransham services, and this is junction 8. And junction 8 is for South Wales and, of course, Ross and Y, and also for the M50 motorway. So that is for South Wales and Ross and Y, and also for the M50 motorway. So we're now heading along down the M5 motorway, and so Stransham services is a very iconic location. I haven't stopped at the southbound services since 2008, and you may think that the southbound services, it looks like as you walk into Hopwood Park services, which is operated by Welcome Break on the M42. But however, the only difference is it's only on one floor, whilst Hopwood Park has a small mezzanine floor. And so here we go. So the southbound site of Stransham services is in its original location, though none of the original buildings have survived. And the main building is a large glass-fronted structure with the main car park situated in front of the building with the lorry and coach parking behind. and the northbound side, which is situated 0.5 miles to the north of the southbound services. The northbound services is set back from the motorway. The main building has an unusual design based on curves and circles, unlike the southbound site. The cash machines are located outside, and both the car and lorry parking is to the front of the building. And it's also the access. It was the access to the air ambulance base, but I'm not sure if it's still there. Maybe not. So anyway, here we go. We just come away from Strensham, and of course Junction 8 at the M50. Junction 8 at the M5. So this is going to take us all the way downwards now. So we'll be soon entering Gloucestershire, and of course we've crossed the River Avon, and we are re-entering Worcestershire because it does repeat it constantly. So the next junction is junction number 9, and it is for Tewkesbury, the A438, and of course Evesham on the A46. So junction 9 is coming up now. So junction 9 is coming up, and so you got junction 9 coming up next on this motorway. So junction 9's coming up. So as you can tell with the video, the weather was very clear, but however it did start to rain throughout most of the video. But however, I am going to showcase you all the different services within this motorway. So here we go. We are now heading along the motorway. So this is for Tewkesbury, and of course Tewkesbury Abbey, junction 9 for Tewkesbury Abbey, the A438, Evesham, and the A46. So this is junction number 9. So junction number 9, and then the next junction is junction number 10, which is for Cheltenham and the A4019. So junction 10 is next. So we have done some exciting videos on the channel. And so anyway, there's the power cables, the pylons. You see some of those across the Dudley area. And of course, some of the pylons are big, some of them are small. Some of them are actually attached to telegraph poles. And speaking of that, you'll see them once we've gone through Gloucester. And of course they've got 3 arms, and you'll see proper 3-armed pylons as we've gone through Bridgewater. And of course there are some mini type ones before we get to Bridgewater, just as we come into Bridgewater. So here we go. We're now continuing along on our journey. So this is taking us all the way down. So we're going south. So we got a call next at Evesham. So we've gone through Evesham and Tewkesbury. So the next junction is for Cheltenham, the A4019. And so we're coming towards Cheltenham next. So we're coming towards Cheltenham, which is junction number 9. Junction 10. We've gone through junction 9. So Cheltenham's next on the next part of the motorway. And if you remembered when we went to Cheltenham, it was last year, and obviously we hadn't been this year. Also, Cheltenham was famous for its iconic Cavendish House department store. So once again, for my corrections, we didn't go to Cheltenham this year because of obvious reasons, and I wanted to do the farewell to the Cavendish House of Fraser, but sadly that's now closed, so I had to do a virtual Urbex video of the department store, which is a shame. So a shout out to Love Lifts. Hope you enjoy my channel, and a very, very, very thank you for giving me the shout out. A very good thank you for giving me a shout out, and I really enjoyed your video regards to the Cavendish House department store, which had been trading over 100 years. So here we go. We're now coming up towards Cheltenham now. So we're coming up towards Cheltenham. And Cheltenham, I really like Cheltenham, to be honest. And so here we are. We're coming towards Cheltenham. And I really like Cheltenham so much. There's not only there's also a John Lewis and Partners department store, which used to be known as the Beechwood Shopping Centre and had the Debenhams department store. But the Debenhams in Cheltenham closed way before the rest of the Debenhams department stores closed, from when the company filed for bankruptcy. When the company went into administration. So junction number 10 is approaching now for Cheltenham, and then after junction number 10 will come junction 11 for Gloucester, North and East, Cheltenham, the A40, and of course Staverton Airport, which is known as Gloucestershire Airport. And so here we are, we're coming to Cheltenham. So this is Cheltenham approaching now. So we're coming towards Cheltenham. And of course, before you get into the centre of Cheltenham, you've got the Kingstitch shopping park and also the Gallagher shopping park. One of them includes a Sainsbury's supermarket. So that is the A4010 for A4019 that goes towards Cheltenham town centre. So the next junction coming up is junction 11 for Cheltenham, Gloucester, North and East, the A40, and of course Staverton Airport. Right then, this is junction 11 for Gloucester, North and East, Cheltenham, the A40, and of course Staverton Airport, which is also known as Gloucestershire Airport. Now arriving at junction 11, so this is also for Regency Cheltenham, Gloucester Cathedral and Historic Docks, and also Gloucestershire Airport known as Staverton Airport. So junction 11 is coming up right now. So junction 11 is just approaching. So it is a lovely day today. So junction 11, 1.5 mile for Gloucester and Staverton Airport, known as Gloucestershire Airport. It's only like a small airport, so you wouldn't get major flights because the nearest airport to here, where you'll catch flights, is down at Bristol, which is Bristol Airport, and then further down there, after Bristol, is Exeter Airport. And Exeter Airport's only like a small airport. You wouldn't get airlines like Virgin, BA and United. So the airlines you'll more than likely find at Exeter is TUI, which was formerly known as Thomson and First Choice. So here we go. Junction 11A is for Gloucester West, Cirencester, the A417, London, and of course Swindon. So then, we are now approaching Gloucester services. Now, Gloucester services is operated by Westmoreland. The northbound services opened in 2014, whilst the southbound opened in 2015. Now, as you know, this service station had promised not to host chain coffee shops, fast food outlets, or video and gambling machines. And also, much of the food and produce on sale at the service station is being sourced from local suppliers. And so this is like a local service. So this is just like selling local produces. And this is operated in a similar manner to tea-based services on the M6 up in Cumbria. And so here we go, we're now coming towards Gloucester services. So Gloucester services is one of the one of the unique services I ever came across to host local produces rather than being like a chain of fast food restaurants. So here we go, we're continuing on our journey on the M5 all the way down towards the south. So I just hope you're going to continue to enjoy this exciting trip. This is junction number 12, and this is for the A38 and of course for Gloucester Central and South.
Okay then, here we go. We're now gone past the junction for Stroud, and just coming up, there's the normal set of pylons, and next to them is the telegraph poles, and attached to the telegraph poles you probably expect there's some pylons. As you know, these are like mini type pylons, and you'd probably see them up in the Manchester area. So anyway, here we go. And the last time we went down here, we were on this part of the motorway, was last year when we were coming back from Dorset, if you remembered, when we were coming back from Dorset. So it's now 25 miles down towards Bristol, and we are going to have a few break segments in between the motorway, so that means it doesn't make the memory a bit longer. So anyway, so here we go, we're now coming along. So just gonna, so as you know, I'm just selecting a couple of radio stations. So here we go, we're now heading along, and so here we go. So just heading along. So here we are. So we'll see you in a couple of moments. Okay then, as you probably noticed earlier, we just went past a festival, so we're just going past some telegraph poles which are actually attached to some pylons, the mini half pylons, because you probably, if you remembered, we saw them earlier, and there's also some further down at Bridgewater. And just right in front of us is of course a megabus, and megabus is part of Stagecoach, so you can see megabus right in front of us. So, and further down we'll be coming up. So coming up next will be the service station, and the next one coming up will be Michaelwood. Now Michaelwood is not far away from Bristol, so here we go. So we're going along. So here's the megabus, making travel simple, and the registration of this vehicle is YX67 UPP. Fleet number 54287, and what it's got like save, I don't know, it's like money saver. So let me get, so it's money saver, you can relax, you've got USB ports, and of course you've got free Wi-Fi available on the megabus itself. It's a massive bus. You see variety of those on motorways, and also you can actually follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and of course Instagram. Well, Twitter is now known as X, and it's working for the M86 to Bristol. So it's heading to Bristol, so it might be taking a lot of tourists down towards Bristol, because Bristol is very famous for the Cabot Circus shopping centre, which is within the city centre, which sadly lost its House of Fraser this year, because that's going to make way for the new Marks and Spencer's. If you remembered, M&S Marks and Spencer's used to be in the city centre, but it closed because of the rent. And of course, opposite the Marks and Spencer's M&S department store was of course Debenhams, and Debenhams closed in 2021 because of the company going into administration. So the only remaining department store in the city centre of Bristol is of course Harvey Nichols, which is one of the poshest department stores within the Bristol area. And of course you've also got the out of town shopping centre called the Cribs Causeway shopping centre over at Patchway, where we'll be heading for, and that has 2 anchor stores. Marks and Spencer, well, it has 3 anchor stores. Boots, you've got H Beauty, which is one of the junior anchor stores, and of course you got Marks and Spencer's, and of course you got John Lewis and Partners. So coming up now is Michaelwood Services, which has the Burger King and the Starbucks and the WH Smiths, and of course you got a Waitrose and Partners, which is the tenant for the grocery. It's a little bit like what you'll find of a Marks and Spencer's. Simply Foods back at Exeter over at Moto Services, and of course Extra Services as well, because obviously you've got Extra, and just right in front we've got a wind turbine. So there's a wind turbine in front. So this is Michael Wood Services. So what I'll be doing, I'll be having screenshot for the next junction, because of the next place is a point of interest, as we'll be heading for Bristol and of course Avonmouth. So this is Michael Wood Services, and there's the footbridge. Used to be covered, but now it's open air because they removed the old footbridge because of health and safety reasons. So anyway, here we go.
We are now in South Gloucestershire, and we're now at junction 14, and this is for Thornbury, the B4509, and of course Dursley. So this is junction number 14. Right then, this is junction number 15, and this is Almondsbury Interchange. And Almondsbury Interchange is for South Wales, Chepstow, Newport, the M48 and M4 motorways, London, Swindon, Bath and Bristol Central, which is accessed via the M32 motorway that takes you into Bristol city centre. And so anyway, we are also by the RAC control centre. So we're just now at junction number 15, and junction number 15 at Almondsbury opened on the 8th of September 1966. And so here we are at Almondsbury, and the RAC tower of the RAC control centre dominates the skyline at the interchange itself. So it is a very unique structure. It's one of the best structures that I've seen in my life. And so here we are at Almondsbury now. So we're now at Almondsbury. So this is Almondsbury Interchange. And we're not far away now from the outer part of Bristol. So Almondsbury Interchange. So coming up next is junction number 16. So junction number 16's next, and that is for the A38 Thornbury and of course Filton. So we are continuing on our journey on the M5 motorway. So junction number 16's next. So junction number 16. So junction number 16's next. So junction number 16, that is for Thornbury, Filton and the A38. So junction number 16 is to the left. So there's the RAC tower of the RAC control centre. And it's a very, very interesting structure. I really like the structure of the RAC tower. It's very, very, very spectacular. And I really like those special type of towers there. So here we go. We're on our way now. So we're junction number 16 for the A38 Almondsbury. So the A38 Thornbury and Filton. And coming up next will be junction number 17. So junction number 17 will be approaching. And then that's going to take us. So we're going to continue on our journey all the way down the motorway. And this is going to take us. So this is a very, very. I really like motorways myself. I'm a massive, massive fan of motorways. I really love motorways. And so we've just gone along past junction number 6. So we're coming towards junction 16. Here we are, junction 16 for Thornbury, Filton and the A38. And here we go. We are starting to pick up a little bit of speed. And so junction number 17's up next. And that is for Bristol West, the Cribs Causeway, which is, of course, the Cribs Causeway Shopping Centre and Retail Park, and the A4018. And Cribs Causeway is a both road in South Gloucestershire, and it's running north of the city of Bristol and the adjacent area, which is notable for its out-of-town shopping and leisure facilities. And the retail and leisure complex takes its name from the road, and it includes retail parks, supermarkets, and an enclosed shopping centre known as the Mall, an ice rink, View, which is a cinema, Hollywood Bowl, and a 10-pin bowling venue and a gym. So here we go. We're now coming towards Cribs Causeway next. So the Cribs Causeway Shopping Centre opened in 1998 on the 31st of March. So it opened in 1998. There is 2 floors of the shopping centre and 2 anchor stores, which includes M&S and, of course, John Lewis and Partners. There was a HMV in the centre, but that's now closed. And, of course, there's the White Company, which is a fashion retailer, which used to be known as the Disney Store. And, of course, there's Jules, Next, there's Jules Fashion, there's Next, Apple, New Look, WH Smith's, a Boots, and, of course, a H&M. So there's a H&M within the shopping centre. So you've got the White Company Fashion. So anyway, here we are coming towards junction number 17, and this also has a B&Q. And of course, this is also home to the Asda Supercentre, which was actually the first Asda Walmart Supercentre to be in the UK. And that happened in July of 2000. But now the Walmart branding has been removed, and this is also the location of the first ever Morrison's Supermarket 2 in the southwest of England, which opened in 2003. And of course there's the B&Q store, which also houses a Furniture Village, a DFS, a Macro, and of course a Wickes. So you've got loads of different choices of shops here. So that is very, very, very unique. And so here we go. We're now continuing on our journey. So we've just gone through junction 17, which is for the Cribs Causeway Shopping Centre, and Bristol West and the A4018. And we're now entering Bristol. So junction 18A is coming up, and that is for South Wales, Cardiff, Newport, the M49 and the M4 motorways. So we're now coming towards junction 18A. So there is no access on the slip. And so here we go. We're now coming down the slope. And just right in front of us, you can probably guess what's coming into our view. It's Avonmouth Docks. It's Avonmouth Docks. And of course, Avonmouth Docks is one of the popular dockyards here in the south. I really like this part of the motorway when it comes towards the docks. And of course, there is a station. There's a station at Avonmouth, which is provided by Great Western Railway. And of course, you've got Portway Park and Ride. So you've got loads of different. So you've got the stations here as well. So here we go. And of course there's Severn Beach as well. So many different places around the dockyard. So this is junction 18A. So this is junction 18. And this is for South Wales, Cardiff. So junction 18A has gone past. So, sorry about that. So that was junction 18, for Bristol, Bristol Airport, Shirehampton, Avonmouth Docks, the A4, and Orst on the A403. So, here we go. So we're now continuing on our journey. So we're now going to climb up the Avonmouth Bridge, and it will then take us from the Bristol area into Somerset. So anyway, this is junction 18. So this is junction 18 for Bristol Airport, Shirehampton, Avonmouth Docks, the A4 and Horst. So the previous junction before that was South Wales, Cardiff, Newport, the M49 and M4 motorways. So sorry if I was confusing all of you viewers, but that's what we want. We want a bit of banter. So as you probably know, there will be no captions for the remainder of the video. That was only up until that was just as far as Michael Wood area. So we're now going to be climbing the Avonmouth Bridge, and there was one interesting thing. There used to be a tall shaped pylon. There was a massive tall pylon. It was like raised up, like it was going up into the air, but sadly it's been removed because obviously most of the pylons are starting to go now and being replaced by the newer type pylons, which are the T-shaped, which I'm going to show you in a moment. So the T-shaped pylons are very nice, very efficient, and they're very iconic. So this is coming up now, the Avonmouth Bridge. So the Avonmouth Bridge is right here. It carries the M5 motorway and of course the national cycle route 41, and it crosses the River Avon. So the Avonmouth Bridge is a road bridge that carries the M5 over the River Avon into Somerset near Bristol, and the main span is 538 feet, 164 metres long, and the bridge is 4,554 feet, 1,388 metres long, with the air draft above the mean high water level at 98.4 feet and 30 miles. It also has a separate footpath and cycleway which connects the B4054 near the Avonmouth station with the Royal Portbury Dock. So the raised pylon used to be in this spot here, but sadly that's now gone, which is a shame. But obviously they put those new shaped pylons in, and I am going to show you a picture what the pylon used to look like. So here we go, we're going up the Avonmouth Bridge, and coming up next on this motorway is junction 19, and that is for Clifton Toll, Portishead, the Royal Portbury Dock, the A369, and Gordano. So that's the docks over there. So the Avonmouth Docks. So the Avonmouth Docks is part of the Port of Bristol in England, and it opened in 1877 and is operated by the Bristol Port Company, and it's a 150-year lease from 1991, and is run by the City Council of Bristol, and that is where the river joins the Severn Estuary within Avonmouth. And so here we go. So this is junction number 19 for the services: Clifton Toll, Portishead, the Royal Portbury Dock, the A369 and Gordana services. So Gordana services is a motorway service station located at junction 19 of the M5 motorway. So then, this is not my photo, but this is what the tall pylon used to look like. It was so tall, but sadly this pylon has been taken down, which is a shame. So we're going to continue on our journey. So there you see the new T-shaped pylons. So these are the new T-shaped pylons that you see on the M5 motorway. Junction number 20 on the M5 is for Clevedon, the B3, 133 and Nailsea. This is junction number 21 and this is for Bristol South, the A370 and of course my favourite seaside resort, Weston-super-Mare. So Weston-super-Mare is up ahead. So this is the junction for Weston-super-Mare, one of my favourite seaside towns I've been to. And we're now on our way further downwards. So let's continue on the journey. So then, we've just gone past the junction now for Weston-super-Mare. And so here we go, continuing downwards on the M5 motorway. So we're now coming down towards, so there's the National Grid, the pylons right there. So here we go. We're going to continue on the journey. Okay, here we go. We are going to be making a service stop at Sedgemoor Services. So what I've done, I've split this video into certain parts because obviously with the journey being a bit longer, so we're going to split. So we're coming to Sedgemoor Services. So we're just arriving at Sedgemoor Services. Now, as you probably know, this services is not owned by one company. It's actually owned by two companies. So the northbound station is operated by Welcome Break, whilst the southbound is operated by Road Chef. And the northbound services opened in 1987, whilst the southbound services, known as Road Chef, opened in 1986. And so it used to be known as the Brent Knoll Rest Area. So here we are, now arriving at, so this is Sedgemoor Services.